Hi, just thought I'd go over how I've come to start a new project and how I've got into that. I'm quite an avid historical reader, and from that, that's where I get most of my inspiration. I get a lot from watching YouTube as well, but mainly for me, it's from books. Now, the first a while ago, I read this. This is Dan Jones, Plantagenets. I did actually watch his TV series, but this is a really good book, I have to say. So it's well worth. It's a good read. It's easy to read, and it gives you that bit to get into the period. The period that really interested me was the early, basically the civil war between Stephen and Matilda, and that sort of got me really, because it was a period I didn't really know much about. So after that, I read this book. No, this isn't. It's okay. Parts of it are a bit. It's a bit. To me, it's a bit unbelievable. But anyway, but the interesting part here that it spoke about was the character Dunstan. He fights in the Battle of Brunanbar, or Brunanburh, and that was like, well, that's a battle I've never heard of before. And from that, I sort of like did a bit of searching, and came up with this. This is an Osprey book actually that's just been released. It's actually not a bad read, but for me, what it doesn't do, it sort of doesn't give much a description about the battle, and the reason being, not many people know much about the battle, but it's a battle between the Saxons king and an alliance between Scotland, Strathclyde, and some Vikings, and the Saxons win, and from that, basically, the Vikings are pushed right back, and it's probably the first time where the England that we know today existed, even though they wouldn't have called it England, but it's a really good read. It's more about where the battle site is. Michael Livingston is an American. He argues that it's in the Wirral. A lot of people argue it's in other places, but a good book, well worth a good read. But it sort of inspired me. I had a Saga Saxon army, and I thought, I'm just not playing with it anymore. So what I decided was, let's reuse those models, and let's make a Saxon army for sword point. Other books that been reading about. This is one about Alfred's Britain. It's okay. It's a bit dry, but it's okay. It's around that period about Alfred. It does actually mention the Battle of Brunanburh. Yeah, but it's sort of it's very more like, from an archaeologist point of view, it's okay. The other thing that sort of what I'm doing now is I'm rereading Cool Wars Last Kingdom. And obviously that's the whole series. I'm going through at the moment, and they're a bit like, they're a bit unbelievable, but they give you that feeling of what is going on at that time, in that early, that late Saxon period, but from the 900s up to, I'm guessing, up to Hastings really this is the period that I'm interested in, and these books are about it. If you haven't read these are really good, but basically it's sharp with a sword, if you know what I mean. The last book I got, there's two other books I've got, sorry. I thought it was one. This is written by Charles Spencer, Diana Spencer's brother. It's a story about the White Ship and how the Civil War erupts. They call it the Anarchy, but it's the Civil War between Stephen and Matilda. And this is basically about the disaster, the sinking of the White Ship, which brings about the Civil War. The heir to the throne dies in this shipwreck, and from there on, Henry I's how his plans of what is everything he wanted fell apart. The last book is this one, Stephen and Matilda. This is really, it talks in detail about the Civil War. It's actually a very good book, actually. Well worth a good read. The bit that interests me about here is that you can tell in the picture, it's this period 1139 to 53, it's Normans versus Normans. So one of the things I was going to do was buy the Victrix Normans and do this war, but we're still waiting for the cavalry to come out. But when it comes out, really interested in doing the Civil War. There's a couple of big battles in it. There's a lot more sieges and stuff like that, really, because in this day and age, it was a pitched battle was a bit of a risk. You could basically, it was like win all or nothing, where sieges tended to be, they came to an agreement. And so this is by Jim Bradbury. Definitely worth a read if you're interested in the period. So this has meant I'm sort of interested in this early medieval. They call it the Dark Ages, but that's not politically correct anymore. Early medieval, and I'm thinking of just doing a late Saxon army, and a Viking, and then I want to get on with the Norman army. I was thinking of doing the Battle of Brunanburh. Still might, but it means you have to do Scots. I might do some Irish as well, but yeah, it's there's a number of ways you can go. So for the next few months, this is what I'm going to be doing, is the Dark Age project. I've ordered a number of troops to fill things out, which I don't have at the moment, and then we'll go from there. So I just thought it'd be interesting for you to see, the research, the books I read, the stuff that I go through to start a new period. Okay, hope that's been interesting. Okay, speak to you soon. Bye.